Hey, everybody. Hey, Monica.
Hey, John. Hey, everyone.
Thank you for coming on with me tonight. Wow, Beverly Hills. I mean, every episode is better than the next. They are really delivering this season, I have to say.
Yes. OMG. Like, I'm really shocked how much they're calling out Erika, but I'm loving it.
I, I, I hope there's like 50 episodes in the season because I don't want it to end. Like, I'm going to be really upset when this show ends.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked this forward to Housewives, and I couldn't tell you how long, and it's so damn good. Let's just say hi to everybody real quick. Joanne, Brenda, Lisa, Payne, Ellie, Andrea, Velvet, Michelle, Anne, Barbie, Veronica, Brenda, Jay, Susie Bell. You guys are all great. Blonde, Pink Flamingo, Deborah C, Lori. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I took a lot of notes. Like, look. I felt like I was in college. You have that one. You have that one professor that just talks, and you're trying to keep up. Like this,
Right.
for an hour show.
OMG. John.
So much jammed into this little hour show. It's really 45 minutes with the commercials, and I kept having to pause it because I couldn't keep up. I'm like, Cody, pause it. So let's get into it. I can't wait. This is going to be fun.
Yep, let's go.
Yes, he's fabulous, and he's on the inside scoop.
Ooh, look at that.
Okay. The live that people are asking about in the comments will be after this one, maybe like a half hour after this one. Just
that live.
That live. So which will be as good as this one. Okay, so the show opens up, states, and that's going to be the after show, by the way, which will be public. In case, because I'm not doing an after show for this live tonight, but the after show will be that mess. Okay, so the show opens up. We're at Casa Dorit in Encino, and Dorit gets a box of all her wedding dresses that she's now designing. And there's 4 different dresses. I thought one actually looked like a wedding dress, and the other ones were pretty white dresses. What did you think about Dorit's wedding dresses, Monica? Like the pearl. What were your thoughts on her wedding dresses?
It was like the Buca de Pepe. What was the restaurant? I'm just like, Dorit, here we go. Another season, another scam. Okay, did the restaurant ever launch? Did we ever see her anything on the menu with her name on it? A room with her name? Nothing. No.
So they were pretty much like the Capri room at Buca de Pepe.
Exactly. Pretty much.
Okay, the first one she had on was the pearl. And PK is naming, the dresses, because he's the boss. And although, PK is smart, and I do like what, his thoughts. What's up, Jelly? Hey, Julie. So the pearl, like that was the first one she had on. I was like, Cody, what do you think about that one?
The pearl one was like, it was like kind of pretty, but it just looked like it weighed like 80 pounds.
Cody liked Dorit's dresses a whole lot more than I did.
I went to school for fashion, so I pay attention to detail.
Okay.
So
I liked the second one, the moment, but that had like the slit, like right up the leg in the front. And
I thought the second one was very pretty. It was retro, but just very pretty. I don't know. I liked it a lot.
Like that slit in the front, like on your wedding day, like I don't know that.
I mean, easy access,
right? Like maybe it's like to get the garter off easily. Do they still do that?
They do. I'm thinking.
I would, if I had to rate that, like from the first one, a 1 out of 10, I would give it a 6. The second one, I would rate a 7.
We're so blessed to have Isaac Mizrahi right next to us. Thank you.
Yeah.
I went to school for interior and fashion design, so come on.
The one I liked was the actress. That was the third one. The one where he said that
Uh-huh.
she looked like
Sophia.
Sophia Loren.
That one was
Oh.
beautiful.
That was the one I thought I could actually pass for a wedding dress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That was
that's
the only
true.
one. But like, you know, and then the fourth one, what was that? The woman.
Well,
that
the third
was
one-
like a cocktail
The
dress.
third one got like
think
a
that
9 in my books, but the cocktail dress that she wore, like that's something you would wear, like, and I think it was already designed in like Monster Law, right?
Mhm.
Didn't Fonda wear that in
Oh,
Monster
yes.
in Law?
Yes.
Yes.
Wasn't that the same dress?
Well, now we know where
when
you know,
she went to the wedding or like whatever, like had the same dress on. Like, so come on.
Dorit is, you know, it was okay. And then they're also speaking about like, you know, renewing their vows. And, you know, Dorit doesn't want the curse to fall upon her. Like every housewife who's ever had their vows renewed, it fell apart shortly thereafter.
Well, Dorit doesn't want to lose that money, so she don't want to curse nothing.
And PK was, you know, no, it's cool. We should do it. You know, as long as we love each other, blah, blah, blah.
Well, he wants her to wear that. He wants her to wear that dress too.
So what do you think? Should they renew their vows, Monica?
I mean, you know, their relationship never gave me much of anything, no energy, no nothing. At this point, why not? Go for it, you know. But I just wanted to comment really fast on those wedding dresses.
You'll get it.
It was giving me cheap dollar store dreams. No disrespect, Cooch La Cream. It was just giving me cheap clearance rack.
Yeah, I didn't like any of them. Like the only one I thought had any levity was the actress one, but I wasn't a fan of them. You know, and you know she's charging like buco bucks for them dresses too.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Do we know any price amounts on these dresses? Like, you know, she's Vera Wang now. Do we know?
I haven't seen them anywhere. I don't know about of a website. I don't know. You know, this pretty much came together right before they started filming.
Like when you think wedding dresses, oh, Dorit Helmsley. That's who I mean.
It's couture. It's couture. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, if Sutton had a wedding dress, I'd buy Sutton's way over Dorit's.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sutton has style. She's actually friends with Dolce & Gabbana. We know that, you know, she's getting the finest threads, the finest fabrics. She's not going the cheap route.
So, yeah, I would stick with Sutton. All right. So the next, look, this is just one little sentence. We have a lot to cover.
Right.
So the very next scene, we have Sutton and Kyle. So Sutton and Kyle are going to Sutton's nearly finished home in Bel Air, which cost $5.6 million, I think it was. And I thought Kyle was being like super shady because, you know, she's making a lot of money off of Sutton, you know, with the rental, but she is giving Sutton the friends and family discount of only $20,000 a month. So let's not forget how generous Kyle's being with Sutton.
Right.
So they're walking around. Kyle doesn't want to go and look around. She's afraid she's going to fall through the floor, whatever. So then they're sitting outside and they have like this deep conversation about Erika. And it's kind of, this sets the stage for the blowout at Kathy's dinner party. Sutton tells Kyle that she wants to have a deep conversation with Erika, that Sutton's not buying it, that there are red flags flying for her, like, you know, regarding the broken ankle / switchback / amnesia / dangling from a tree / unconscious for 12 hours / he's got brain damage / story. And I mean, does anybody think that Erika was being truthful with that story and how many times it changed?
Not one of them, but they're not going to say, they're all chicken shit. They're not going to say it to Erika's face like Sutton is, you know. But you know what though, John, I will say this. After the way Kyle threw Sutton under the bus, and I don't want to jump ahead of myself, that would have been my last night renting her house.
Oh, I would have went to the Four Seasons. Yeah, because we'll get, I mean, Kyle threw Sutton under the bus and
ran her over.
That must have been one of the worst bus throwings I've ever witnessed on like not even Housewives, but reality TV in itself. That was horrendous what Kyle did to Sutton at the end.
She treated
And-
her like she was on Section 8 and
Right?
she was giving her a discount. Yeah. Like, how
She's
dare
like,
you?
here's your government cheese and your Section 8 house, and
Right?
what's up? But we'll get to that. You know, Sutton's saying, and everything that Sutton's saying is like totally within the realm of possibilities. It's not like Sutton's being
Outrageous.
Yeah,
Right?
she's not. It's anybody with two eyes and a brain could see where Sutton's coming from.
Exactly.
And don't forget, Kyle was the one, when they had the secret meeting, sans Erika, which she was like, you know what, you're right. Well, everybody did, which we'll get to. But they're making it seem like Sutton's the only one who spoke out, but they all spoke out about. Lisa Rinna was the only one who hasn't, because as we discussed earlier, what was the amount? Didn't Erika's company give Amelia and Delilah's LLC
156,000?
Yeah, close to 160K. So that's what I'm assuming why Ren is being so tight-lipped with Erika, because Ren is the only one really not saying anything. And if you look at what Ren did to Denise last season, that's totally not in character for her.
Right. Totally. I mean, she flipped out over nothing, an allegation, right? We didn't even know if it was true. And here you are with that LA Times article, Ronald Richards investigation. I mean, accusation and receipts, right? Not just accusations, but receipts to back it up. And she's like, oh, poor baby. It'll be okay. You guys are so evil. Yeah, I mean, there's something fishy going on between them sharing business managers, her spending 156K on her daughter's clothing line. There's something nefarious going going on. Something ain't clean in the button.
Nefarious. I love that word. That gets me hot. Go ahead.
Go ahead. We need Cody, get the fan.
I need Kathy Hilton's fan. Hold on. Let me get that real quick. I love big words. So yeah, so okay, so that's it. So now this next scene is Crystal's luncheon, which was like the weirdest grouping of 4 cast members I've ever seen. Wasn't that a weird grouping, Monica, to have Crystal? And I think it's the first time it's the first time that Kathy's ever gone somewhere without like the group. A little intimate luncheon of Crystal, Kathy, Garcelle, and Erika. And I thought that was just like a very weird grouping.
The producers were just switching things up, trying a new dynamic, smaller group. They know Kathy Hilton would bring the quirky, right? Garcelle would keep everyone on task, right?
And it's just like, it's the first time I watched a season that I was unhappy with Kathy Hilton.
You could have done, yeah.
I love Kathy this whole season, and this was the first time I was like not happy with Kathy. And I actually want to have lunch at Crystal's house. She always looks like she's making the most amazing food.
Yeah.
But okay, so they're eating duck. I have had duck one time in my life, and I wasn't a big fan.
I like duck. I love that pecan roasted duck.
That's what I had, and like maybe I got a bad batch, but like when I had it, it's like really. And I like dark meat. Like my favorite part of a chicken is like the legs and the thighs. But like it was really dark and grainy, and oily, and like I'm like I don't know. Maybe if I got a bad batch of duck.
Maybe it sounds like it. Yeah. Because duck is really good.
I'll try it again. I was just talking to Cody about it. I'm like, maybe we should try duck, like, because he had duck once and he didn't like it. I'm open to, I don't know how I'm getting on this tangent, but whatever. They eaten duck. And I thought it was super shady. Did you catch this, Monica, when Erika had like that diamond cat brooch on and production like zoomed in on it? Did you catch that?
I did. They're doing her dirty. They are
I
doing.
mean, that was some shade
They
on
are doing her dirty, and I love it. I'm here for the mess.
that was some Kenya level shade that because they zoomed in on that diamond cap brooch, and she's not wearing no cap brooch from Claire's.
No,
That's no
no.
CZ cap brooch, and they had
Uh-huh.
production had to zoom in. I put
Mm-hmm.
cap roach zoom in.
Can you see Ronald Richards in his watching with his legs crossed, taking notes? They're gonna
Right?
seize that. They
Um,
want that brooch.
that and like, how are you gonna wear something like that when you go into just to eat a lunch at a friend's house and you have all this stuff going on? I don't know
Mhm.
but production didn't miss it. They caught on. So the conversation starts at lunch about Dorit being long-winded, and they're all joking about Dorit. They're like, everybody's had an issue with Dorit here. That's what she does. She talks too much. She talks in circles.
Right.
And everybody on Housewives since Dorit's been a cast member has had an issue with her over talking.
Right. Right. Yeah, we didn't need her there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was gonna, fun. They're all laughing, but then it turned south because they start talking about Sutton, and then Kathy, which annoyed me, was saying that no one cares about what Sutton has to say, and that irked me.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? You're hanging around. Did we lose you in volume, John?
No, I'm here.
Oh,
Can you
okay.
hear me?
Sorry. I can hear you now. Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, that irked me. What Kathy said. Kathy said no one cares about what Sutton has to say, and that we all have skeletons in our closet, which is true. Everybody has skeletons, but to say like nobody cares what Sutton has to say was the first time I was ever like, oh, with Kathy.
Yeah, I don't know. Was that a little bit of privilege, like showing itself? Was that Kathy asserting, like, I'm the real rich bitch here. If anyone should be offended, it's me. Was that
Right.
what that was? She seemed to be having a moment, and I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either, and like I don't want Kathy to be like shady. I want Kathy to be like, what's hunky dory mean? And I got my fan, and I'm drinking Red Bulls at 1:00 in the morning, and that's the Kathy I want. I don't want this shade. I don't like this shady Kathy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like
Yeah.
it.
I was turned off by that because she doesn't know Sutton that well for her to make that remark.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then to further, I have quotes. Like, I'm like, listen, my notes are like spectacular. What do you think of my notes so far, Mike?
Oh, I'm so impressed.
I'm still on page
Yay!
1, but this is page 1 of
Listen,
4, by the way. So
we are upgrading this operation, okay, taking it to the next level. Hollywood, here we come.
Here it is. Okay, so then they're talking about like the country club, and no one's ever heard of Sutton at the country club, and
Right.
Erika's like, well, no one's ever heard, no one knows who she is, so why is she so worried? And Garcelle was the one who came up like, but it was in the confessional, and I wish Garcelle would have said this at the luncheon. But Garcelle in her confessional said, "I never heard of Crystal before. I heard her Rob Minkoff. Never heard of Crystal.
You know what, though? That kind of made me upset too, because like, why didn't she say that then and there? Because that would have been so good.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Why didn't she say that? Garcelle is like one of my favorites this season because she's not screwing around. But then, like, Garcelle comes up with the zingers in the confessionals that she should be saying in luncheon. Like, now imagine if Garcelle had said that to Crystal. Well, and you know how Garcelle is. She don't care. She'll lower her sunglasses and be like, well, you know what, Crystal? I ain't never heard of you. Heard of your husband. What would have happened then?
Mm-hmm.
She would have won that whole thing because they're all talking badly about Sutton behind her back.
Right.
And Sutton and Garcelle are tight. And Garcelle said, why they invite me if they're going to talk badly about Sutton?
Right. And if okay, well, you're there. I thought that Garcelle did her friend Sutton an injustice. She could have stood up for her friend a little bit more, because Kathy's little comments about Sutton to me were worse than what Crystal said.
Right, because Crystal was saying, Crystal flip-flopped again. Every time Crystal, her and Sutton have made good, like this 10 times, at the beginning of the season when at Lake Tahoe and the violation and the knocking on the door and this, that, and the other. But and I was starting to like Crystal, and then she
Mhm.
pulls that, and I'm like,
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. 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 That gave me a glimpse into the mom that sent Paris away to school,
yeah.
and the sister that didn't invite her other sister to her daughter's wedding. So, yeah, she has a side to her.
That luncheon was just like not good for anybody. I was unhappy with Crystal for flip flopping again on Sutton. I was unhappy
Mhm.
for Kathy for like being like Sutton's a nobody. Uh, I've been unhappy with Erika, and I was unhappy with Garcelle because she didn't stand up for Sutton. And like in my books, like all four of their stock plummeted from that luncheon. No one,
Yeah.
no one was a winner in
Mhm.
that luncheon.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so first page done. 3 more to go.
Yeah.
We're moving on.
The notes. Did Kathy really call Sutton Thomasita?
Wait, what?
Did Kathy? Did I hear that right? Did Kat? No, this was a few episodes ago. Don't worry about it. I'm thinking of another episode. Kathy had previously. I think Kathy doesn't like Sutton. In a previous episode, she called her Thomasita.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's clear now, but from that luncheon that she doesn't like Sutton. So, and like I'm like, oh, Kathy, please don't give me a reason not to like you because I've been enjoying you so thoroughly this whole season. But
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. Okay, so the
Mm-hmm.
next scene we have Kyla Mauricio's 25th anniversary wedding dinner, and I thought it was boring.
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't have much to say about it.
Mm-mm.
I mean, what's good? Do you have any to input? I mean, here's my notes: caviar and champagne, and then cheese whiz. 'Cause it looked like when they were putting the caviar on the crackers that there was some cheese whiz on it. And I said my notes are lots of roses, dry spaghetti, shrimp, and crab.
Yep. Same here. Ditto. I don't have anything
It
to
was
add.
like,
That summed it up. I don't have anything to add.
and that so let's get into the meat of this episode, which
Mhm.
is
The main event.
Kathy's dinner party, which is 3 pages worth of notes of me
Woo.
pausing, stopping, writing, sweating. What you say? I wanted direct lines. So I have this. I took copious notes on this. Like I was
Okay. Ooh, I'm ready.
okay,
Mhm.
let's do it. Okay, so Kathy's dinner party. What do you think of everybody's looks? I liked Dorit's pigtails look. I thought she was cute, and I thought that was the best Garcelle has ever looked on the show.
Yeah. She looked beautiful. She's a beautiful woman.
I
She really
love
did.
Garcelle's hair. I loved her
Mhm.
outfit.
Mhm.
I'm like that. I have chills because I'm like Garcelle is a little hot number on this one. She looked. I think Garcelle was the best dressed. Best. That was a good reunion look.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Skiddly doo 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 doo. Sorry, that was from last night.
Ah.
Anyway. Okay, so now, does anybody know how much staff Kathy Hilton has at her house?
She's a rich bitch. I mean, though
And do
when
they
you
all
go to
live
her
there?
house, you feel poor.
Do they all live there? Like, is there like a house full of staff members at Kathy's house? Because I need to know. She got the butlers, the chefs, the cooks, the drivers. Like,
Mhm.
that's money. Like, what? Like that 95% of the world will never see. I want to know how much staff Kathy has in that house.
Hey, listen, I mean, it takes you back, right? I know they all think they have money, but when they go to her house, they feel
Oh,
poor instantly.
oh, and Dorit, I have that. And then going off that, Dorit, like she goes, "I am in my element here." Dorit's getting hot and bothered. I'm in my element.
I'm in
They're
my
serving some
element.
caviar pie and deviled quail eggs, and she goes, and Dorit's hot. she's like,
Listen, her panties got wet
oh,
when
they
they
oh
brought
they
out
were
that
wet.
silver platter.
Oh, they
That
were
silver
wet.
platter and the white gloves. Okay, white glove treatment. She got wet. I'm telling you.
Dorit probably didn't even go home to PK that night. She probably, I Dorit was probably in Kathy's room. She goes, what do I need to do to be in this household? Like,
Oh my goodness.
Dorit
That was good.
she was losing it.
In
She's
her
like,
element. In her element.
and she's I'm in my element. Dorit, as rich as she claims to be, she never saw wealth like this before.
No, this is new for her. Mm-hmm.
And Dorit's from Connecticut, from over here, so her Connecticut came out in that live. She was like,
yeah,
girl, I don't see this in Hartford, honey. So this was a whole new world for Dorit, and it was made me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Sutton, and again, why is Sutton sitting next to Erika? Is that production?
Of course, they're doing that on purpose, John.
It's so again, Sutton and Erika are sitting next to each other, and Sutton, asks Erika if she'd like to have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So, wait, hold on. I don't want to lose my spot. Erika goes, stone-faced Erika. Hold on, let me see if I can do it. What are you trying to do? And I don't need to hear it. I don't want to talk to you. I've had enough problems, and your opinion of me does not matter.
All I can think of is Erika, go brush up on your acting skills. I feel like I was watching a soap opera. It was, bitch, please. I'm Team Sutton.
Oh, I'm Team Sutton all the way.
Team Sutton all the way. Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even like a good soap opera like Days Are Alive, All My Children. It was like Passions. Like one of them.
It was an online version only. It never made it to prime time. Never made it to prime time. Yeah, she's.
What Erika needs to do? She needs to call Eileen and get some lessons on how to act on a soap.
Some coaching. Mm-hmm.
That's it. Yeah. I'm sure Eileen will do it. Then okay, Erika and Sutton sitting next to her. Sutton said, so after Erika rebuked Sutton's wanting to talk to her, Sutton's saying, and then Erika has to go to the bathroom, and get herself together because she's a mess.
Get her fix, allegedly.
Right.
Yep.
She has to do a bump. And so
it's a lot of stress,
So allegedly. So then while Erika's gone, Sutton says to the table, well, no one else at this table is going to tell Erika what to say to her face. And that was some high quality shade that Sutton threw to everybody at the table.
Right. It needed to be said. It needed to be said. See, Erika can't stand Sutton because Sutton has figured her ass out. Instead of kissing it like those other, clout chasers, butt kissers.
Yeah, and let's not forget how everybody originally was Team Sutton and trying to get to the bottom of what's happening with Erika. And then Sutton was the only one who delivered, and everybody else fell off because they were afraid. Garcelle has her moments, but then Garcelle's also afraid to say things at certain points. And it's, I wish Garcelle would deliver, but we'll get to that in a second. Look at my note. Okay, you want to hear something funny? Here's my note. Dorit is wet over the caviar and vodka. That was my note.
Great minds think alike.
I'm not even kidding you. Look. Wait, Dorit is wet over the caviar and vodka. That's it.
And we did not. This is the first time. That is so funny.
And then, okay, so they try to start the conversation, and they're eating dinner, the first course, and Dorit has to take charge of the room and the conversation, and says, Garcelle, I was very unhappy with you. I'm really working on my Dorit accent. If you haven't been noticing,
Go ahead,
Garcelle,
John.
I was really unhappy with you the way things went, and I'm always going to like fight for myself and defend myself, and then Kathy shuts it down real quick, and Kathy says, "You know what? We're eating dinner. Let's just enjoy it and not talk about it," which was.
In other words, this is not going to be a scene for you, Dorit. This is not your scene, honey. Pay attention.
And she shuts it down, and that's the Kathy I want to see, like that Kathy, not
Yeah. Yeah. She disappointed me this episode. She really did.
Mm-hmm. Like she really, really did. It's the first time I was like,
not impressed.
No.
Yeah.
And Kathy over the season has tried to, she's presented herself as being quirky and eccentric and aloof, and I don't want to say down to earth, like the opposite of down to earth, like, but in a fun way, like down to Mars. You know what I mean? Like she's
quirky and fun
out there.
So last night it was more of an elitist type of thing happening, and I didn't like it.
Exactly. I could not agree more. We are on the same page.
Yes, BFF, the energy.
Yes, that's
the energy,
right? So, then, okay, so Lisa Rinna's drunk. She's had 3 of those specialty cocktails that Patrick the butler has served her. Right. And then she finds like the dinner bell, ding, 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 like, when you ring the bell for like the next course, so the servers can come in and clear the tables and like bring out the new food. Like, goddamn, imagine having a bell like that. Like,
I would just abuse it just to annoy them. Just ringing it all day.
And yeah, that's Rinna's whole outlook this season. Just let's annoy everybody. So she starts stirring the pot, saying, "I have the bell. Let's pass it around to everybody who wants to talk." And I'm going to start with Sutton. Stirring the pot. There it is. You're stirring the pot. And I'm sure Kathy was not happy with this, but Kathy didn't shut it down like she shut Dorit down. So whatever. Okay. So wait. All right. We're down another page. So got 2 pages left. So then Sutton and Erika start fighting. And poor Patrick, he's caught in between. He can't serve those delicious lamb chops that were probably like $500 a chop.
That's crime right there. That was crime. Did you see that meat?
Patrick, the real victims of this episode are Patrick and those lamb chops that were cold and weren't eaten at the right temperature.
Such a tragedy. A shame.
That really was a tragedy. So Sutton and Erika start going at it. So Sutton tells Erika, you calling me Miss Small Town is derogatory, and that she's proud of her life that she built with her ex-husband. She says Erika saying stuff about small town is derogatory towards small town people from Georgia, whoever.
It is.
And no, I'm Team Sutton. And Sutton said to Erika that she thought it was going to affect her life, but then she said I was wrong, and it didn't affect my life. And then I was upset with Dorit last episode because I didn't like Dorit when she was first on the show, and the last couple of seasons I'm like, I like her. And then last episode she ruined it for me when she didn't, when she kind of threw Sutton under the bus. So Dorit jumps in and defends Sutton to Erika, and Dorit says, I don't approve of what you're saying. And I was like, oh, I think Dorit felt bad because, last episode, Sutton told Dorit, I'm like, what? She goes, why didn't you defend me? Why did you throw me under the bus? Like, we all had the same opinions. And Dorit was like, well, I didn't, And I think it caught up with Dorit. What do you think?
I think so too. Dorit doesn't know what direction to go in. She's like, should I say something? Maybe I shouldn't. Should I go with the group? How am I going to come off on TV? It's all very calculated for Dorit. She's being so fake to me. I can't stand it. She's being her normal self though. So, I mean, I don't expect anything more, nothing less from Dorit. Just, it's all fake. The only real person, really and truly, that on this cast this season is Sutton and Garcelle.
Yeah, I agree.
That's it.
I agree. And and Sutton Garcelle started off last season together. So
Right.
So Dorit says, Erika, every time an article comes out, we're affected. And are they affected? Is that
Well, by proxy, I
Right.
mean, you're on the
Guilt by
show.
association.
Right. I mean, if there's an article about Erika, there's a chance that the cast names might be mentioned in an article, and she doesn't want any parts of that. She's a member of a very prestigious country club. She's
Right.
on many boards, and I don't blame her.
So, and Dorit's also saying, like, what if I get subpoenaed?
Right.
Isn't Brenna getting subpoenaed?
Right. Brenda's getting subpoenaed. She's all up in the court documents. And her latest response to the $156K donation, so to speak, that Erika made to her daughter's company is, I'm being set up. You see how you get pulled into this bullshit?
Yes.
Sutton was right.
100%. And that's like the takeaway was that Sutton was right, because being associated or filming, it's guilt by association. And Brenna, that was her storyline though, because what's her storyline this season other than defending Erika? What, her shitty hoochie mama dresses in her garage that she wore 30 years ago to the Emmys?
Yeah. See how TV becomes reality? See? Yeah, listen, okay?
I can't. I can't. Okay. So then Erika, and then the tears start flowing. Thank God the mascara wasn't running. I guess I guess Erika had to go to the Clinique counter and get some mascara that doesn't run, because the mascara was running that first time when her and Kyle talked, when the mascara just ran, and then just stopped at the cheek. Just stops here, So Erika starts crying, and Erika says, I am going to make it through this, and I will remember who was with me and who was against me. Is that a threat?
That sounds like some bullshit somebody else that we know John has said recently.
Right?
Oh, please, girl.
What?
Please. You mean when you're sitting in a jail cell? What are you talking about? Yeah, that was a threat.
Professor, she goes, she went to CVS. Who you kidding? Listen, I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt by saying she went to the Clinique counter. But I was trying to give her the benefit. Because she still had that diamond cap brooch on. So I'm like, maybe she stopped at the Clinique counter, and got herself some, but you're right. She probably did go to CVS. She has to drive herself around now, don't forget. So, stopping at CVS probably, isn't, maybe she learned what CVS was because she's learning how to go to the bank again, and how to make a deposit, but whatever. So once Erika says, I will remember who was against me and who was with me, Garcelle, our girl, finally jumps in, that wasn't in a confessional, and she says, isn't it human nature to to worry about you? Isn't it something
right? Yeah.
And Erika Coley says, no. Again, they should start inviting Eileen Davidson over for a little brush up on the acting lesson.
Her trying to play the ultimate victim is not working for me. It's not working. deflecting from any and all questions, gaslighting, the tears. Girl, acting as if it's not human nature to look out for yourself.
It
first.
is like, if I was sitting next to somebody like that, I'd be worried. Ask Brenna. Now she's got depositions, got subpoenaed.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't see any of the other cast members right now being subpoenaed and having to do depots. No, it's
Right.
just,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's all linking up.
And trust me, if the shoe was on the other foot and Sutton was in Erika's spot, Erika would be acting the same exact way.
Oh,
My
absolutely.
husband is a top attorney in LA. I can't be around this man. Come on.
I get to see her in her voice. Do you know that my husband, Tom Girardi, was the one that won the Aaron Brockovich case? Like, I can't be in her midst.
Right, exactly. That was good. That was good, by the way.
I'm really working on the accents for everybody. I'm trying to do them spot on. I practice when I'm in the shower. I'll talk like as Dorit or Erika, and Cody's like, "Who are you talking to?" I'm like, myself as Erika or Dorit. Like, I was trying to do it. So then as soon as Garcelle says that to Erika, like another singular tear comes down Erika's face, and Garcelle tries to embrace her and tries to wipe the tear, and Erika's like
pushes her off aggressively. Don't touch me.
Yeah, and then
Don't touch me.
Sutton tries to put her arm on, and she goes, "Get off me!" Like, come on,
girl.
And then who does that?
A bitch.
Right?
No remorse. With no remorse. I mean, no remorse. She is just vile at times. She really is. That wannabe gangster. I mean, I didn't know Tupac was her cousin. Who knew?
You're gonna wear the kerchief next episode? Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
So and then Dorit jumps back on the bandwagon. I thought Dorit, she was it's just hold on, I'm getting to Dorit.
She brought it back home a little bit, which was good.
She did.
Yeah.
Dorit's like, Erika, it's just about when you read the headlines about the orphans and the widows, it's sickening, and Dorit doubled down, and it made me like Dorit again. I'm like, okay, I'm back Team Dorit.
Yeah. And she said that scene that was good. She came in a clutch and she did what she knew the assignment, she understood it, and she delivered. Yeah. I'll give her that. A few points.
And then then here goes. We're on my last page of notes, and then Erika starts saying, "Why are you all torturing me?"
Girl.
Look at me. Come on, look at my life.
Girl, what about the victims' lives? What about the orphans that have no parents? What about the burn victims that can't afford to get the skin grafting surgery? Okay.
Again, and if you have not watched The Housewife and the Hustler, it's on Hulu.
Oh, it's good.
It is good. I mean, if you haven't watched that, I was I didn't watch it, and I've always liked Erika, and Cody loved, prior to this, Erika's Cody's favorite. And then we watched that, and I'm like, oh, it just leaves all sorts of bad taste in your mouth. Mm-hmm. And it's not like that caviar and cheese whiz taste that from.
Well, John, I don't understand. Maybe the people in the chat can explain to me, how are you a gangster and a victim at the same time? You got to choose one. You can't be both.
I don't know. But it was very, very telling, and it showed the victims, the burn victim, and that's I was crying when I watched that. That was
I know.
And Tom,
very sad.
Tom got allegedly Tom had gotten the money, and then he was saying, the judge won't let me
release it.
The money all at once, so I'll give you a little bit here, a little bit there. And meanwhile, allegedly Tom had it the whole goddamn time. This burn victim, it was like a weird explosion in his house. He lost his fiance.
I know.
It was so bad. And for Tom to take this guy's money, I mean, there's just.
And he didn't want it to go splurge and buy BMWs. And if he did, that's his choice. Even if he did, that's his choice. He needed medical care. He needed surgeries, and he needed accessories for his condition. It's just evil. You got to be some type of nasty demon to be on the phone.
You're saying. I'm laughing at that. You see this comment?
What does it say?
She thinks she's Suge Knight.
Well, yeah, she must have been watching The Godfather the night before. The series. It's like, I don't get it with her. Yeah, she does think Tupac and Suge Knight rolled in one, and The Godfather.
That's it. She's the ultimate. Oh, I lost Monica. All right, let's take some questions. Well, I'm on my last page. We're almost done. I really want to close this out with Monica. I don't want to say anything without her. Hold on. This has been fun. Look, there she is.
Sorry.
I'm like, there's no way I'm ending this without Monica.
I was laughing so hard.
This has been one of the funnest recaps I've ever done, because this is, and I guess that's what happens when you take copious notes. I listened to Monica. I'm taking notes, and I was very vigilant on everything.
Very, very vigilant. I like that. Yep, vigilant. Big words.
I'm going to pat myself on the back because I'm impressed with myself a little
Virtual
bit.
pat. Good job. Good job. Very good job.
Okay, so and then Erika's trying to shut the whole room up. She's like, "Why are you doing this to me? Like, to everybody."
Her. She's the victim. Her.
Right?
Yeah.
Poor
baby.
Her cockroach. And then Rena has to jump in and say, "Everybody, let's love thy neighbor," right? Like, we should be like on like everybody's like, we should just love everybody and like, respect them and whatever. And Erika jumps in. "Okay, Lisa, Rena, I love you, but that ain't happening."
What about that line when Sutton said in her confessional about the devil came knocking?
Yeah,
I was like, ooh, and she had on red too. I was like,
Sutton is looking good in her confessionals this year.
She is delivering. Oh my goodness, that was good.
Sutton is the real champion. I will be I was Team Sutton last year, and I am Team Sutton like for life. I'm gonna get a tattoo. Team Sutton for life on my arm, because she is bringing it. Erika goes, "Every time I come to one of these events, I get the shit kicked out of me." Well, girl, what did
Not
you
enough.
Expect? But what did you expect when you knew this stuff was going on for multiple years? What did you think was going to happen when you signed up to film for this season? That no one was going to question anything?
That's what she thought, because she got away with it for so many other seasons. This is not new stuff. It's just that Andy Cohen and Bravo couldn't ignore it anymore. Come on. It's now trending. So they didn't have a choice, John. They had to speak about this stuff.
It's crazy. Like, you knew what was happening. You've known for years what's been happening. And now you're gonna. Every time I come to an event, like you torture me because they're asking questions because allegedly you and your husband stole from burn victims and orphans and widows for like 20 years. What do you think was going to happen?
That's just privilege. Sorry, privilege where she thinks that she can get away with anything and no one's going to question her, and she can come in acting like the Godfather, real gangster, and typically it works. Everyone shuts up.
Because they were afraid of her, but like now, really, who's afraid of Erika?
But Sutton's like, no, bitch, I'm not. No, I know who you are.
I have to give Sutton a lot of credit because usually when someone goes off like with Crystal. And, Sutton gets like emotional and she cries and she storms off. But I think that this is a whole new side of Sutton, and she's been holding her ground, and I'm very impressed with her.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she's the MVP. For me, she's been the MVP of the season and definitely of the episode.
Yeah, because everyone was expecting like the old Sutton, sitting, would imagine like Erika right this close to you, glaring at you the way she glared, and she's a big girl, don't forget, and just glaring at you like with her eyes bulging and that vein popping.
Why do you think Kyle shuts up? She's so scared of Erika being mad at her. So she chooses the route to throw Sutton under the bus when she knows Sutton is not wrong.
That's it. And okay, so let me see. Eric, so then Erika says, "I'm here for support," and then here's what we spoke about at the beginning of the live, and here's what this ties into, and it brings it full circle. I really did a good job on my notes.
I'm so proud of you, John. I am so.
I don't like to toot my own horn, but I think I did a real good job of bringing everything together. I'm just saying. So
you did the homework. You're putting in the work. I'm so proud of you.
It took me like 2 hours. We gotta watch this show 3 times so I can get all this stuff down. 3 hours of watching the same episode. But okay, so now this is when Kyle has her moment to throw the most vicious bus throwing. Kyle started. She goes, "This is about Sutton," and points the finger. Everyone says she should take to Sutton, and Kyle screaming, "You're not being honest. You lied. You put everyone in this position and you're two-faced." To Sutton at this whole table. Like, damn.
Right. Yeah, that was a punk move. She is so scared of Erika. So like I said, she's going to attack Sutton as a deflection. Kyle is a piece of shit. She always has been. She ain't shit. She ain't about shit. That's how I feel about her.
I'd say amen. Like, that's it. Like, the sound of Kyle's voice gets under my skin now. I hope that. I'm usually against getting rid of OGs, but you know what? Let's get rid of Kyle and bring Kim back.
Yeah, I'll take that. Listen, I'm behind that 100%. Absolutely. I like that.
Let's replace an OG with another OG, and like Kim brings that crazy drama. You don't know what you're ever going to get when Kim's on the show.
Nope. And you know what I've noticed? Dorit pretty much said this kind of like the same thing Sutton said, but Kyle wasn't yelling at her. She was just focusing on Sutton. She wanted a moment and she made herself look stupid.
Like, Kyle, I have not gotten any enjoyment from Kyle in forever. Probably since Kim left the show, because when Kim and Kyle were together, they were fighting. It was fun. But Kyle, it's just like, she's the instigator. She's the pot stirrer. She eats the caviar with the cheese whiz, and she's just not bringing like her and Mauricio, and like it's not
every season she picks a target. Last season it was Denise. This season it's Sutton.
Then it was LVP before that.
Right. And the same pattern too. Pretends to be their friend, gains their trust, manipulates and backstabs them, and then goes after them and gets the other women to team up with her so she can be there to console them. Sociopathic qualities. She does it every season to a new person, to someone else.
And I was never an LVP fan, but like I'd be fine if they brought back LVP and replaced her.
That would be good. Yeah, I'll take that. Absolutely.
LVP, Kim. I'd be happy with Camille. Bring Camille back. Camille brings the messiness.
I even like Faye Resnick.
Faye
back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd even go as far as to say, let's bring back Eden Sassoon over Kyle. Like
Oh, hell to the no. You went too far, John. You went too far. Not that witch.
Did I cross the line?
Yeah, too far. Hell to the no. No.
Was Eden too much?
Oh my goodness. That witch, you know she ran an underground lesbian cult, right? You know that, right? I'm serious. She did. I'm not lying to you.
Okay, maybe not Eden, but
oh my gosh.
Oh my god, I'm getting flashbacks of when Eden was on Twitter, and like, God, it was like a bloodfest when Eden was on. Like that was
what a nightmare. Okay.
Years ago when Eden, I remember like the old tweets from the Eden days, and I'm like, oh,
she ran an underground. She's a witch, underground lesbian sex cult. She did.
Oh my god, I love it all. No, I kind of want to come back even more now.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. All right, so okay. Oh wait, let me get my. I'm totally thrown off by Eden and her underground lesbian sex cult witch thing. I can it right now. Okay, so Kyle's saying to Sutton, "You're not being honest. You lied." Oh, I said that already. You put everyone in their position, and you're being two-faced. So then Sutton in her confessional says, "You know, everyone at this table," and I wish she would have said this again. I wish she would have said it to everybody and not in the confessional. But she said everybody at this table is being two-faced, and they were.
Mm-hmm.
They were.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody had something to say about Erika, especially at the meeting at Dorit's house that Sutton called. Everybody.
Yeah. Oh, everyone. Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And Garcelle says in a confessional, again, not at the dinner, that Kyle and Renna focused on Sutton when everybody had something to say.
Right. Absolutely. And, you know, poor Sutton, you know, she's having to learn how phony Kyle is. Every friend of Kyle, quote unquote friend, learns the lesson at some point. Lisa Vanderpump, right? Oh my God. Her own sister, Kim Richards. Okay.
I'm still laughing about Eden.
Denise Richards. Mm-hmm.
I might have to get Eden back on the show just so we can laugh about it.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I don't know. I'm gonna have to start a change.org.
Sorry, I'm out. Ooh, child.
To get Eden back on the show. Okay, so where do I write? I'm so like lost on Eden. Okay. Wait, what was I? Go ahead. So basically, that was it. I don't know. I was writing so fast at the end of this, I can't even make out what I was trying to say. Be about broken foot / head. What does that mean? Lying. The lying. Came to me. Kyle was saying, you know, that singling out Sutton, saying that, you know, you called Erika a liar. And Sutton, in her defense, says, yes, I thought she was lying about the story about Tom with the broken foot / ankle / head / 12 hours / switchback / hanging from a tree / gone for, you know, that's what Sutton said. Okay.
Right.
You know, how can anybody believe that? At first it was, you know, he had a broken ankle. Then it was, that's how he, you know, he got his head injury, but that was only 3 years ago. So 3 years ago doesn't cover the stuff that you were doing in like 2002, 2003, even if that was the truth.
Well, she's, you know, Sutton said it best. If you find one cockroach behind the sheetrock, there's plenty others. So they're obvious lies, and these girls will turn a blind eye to it to kiss Erika's ass, because Erika is acting like Tom is is this big time attorney with all this power to go after Sutton. That shit is dead. See, that's the mind frame they're still in. Even Erika, Kyle, Renna, they're thinking somehow Tom and Erika are going to rise again. They'll rise. Come on now. It's a wrap. It's over. The reign is over. And things are just only going to get worse from here on. And it has. I mean, they filmed that show, in early 2020, right?
Well, I think
2020, because it was COVID and stuff like that.
Right, but they film like Christmas and stuff. So we're going back to now,
2021,
December 2020, early this year, January probably.
And the headlines are, what is it now? August, September?
Yeah.
And the headlines, the headlines have only gotten worse every day.
Every day they get worse.
It has not stopped. The reign is over. Tom is not this big time attorney anymore. He has no power. That's how Erika's acting. She's like, she's like the Suge Knight of Death Row Records. Or no, really, that's the truth. That's how she's acting. Like Death Row still exists and Suge Knight's still running. No, bitch, it's over. The reign is over. It's done.
Oh my God. This was a blast. By the way, I've already had Cody text Eden, and we're
Lord, no. Oh, I got to go. Ooh, child. On that note, I had fun. This was so much fun.
This was a blast. I had a blast. This was like I haven't had this much fun on a recap, and I couldn't tell you how long. This was good. This was good. Guys, if you want to read if you're bored, and go read some old tweets about Eden on Twitter from 2016, a while ago. But if you got nothing to do, if you want to go read some old tweets about Eden, because everybody hated her. Everybody hated Eden. She was just a mess. So and I bet Wig don't even know who Eden is, because
please don't get us started. By the way, speaking of Wig, what's the next live going to be about? I heard you going live again tonight.
Yes, actually, a nice segue. What time is it? Let me look. It's 10:07. I don't know what's a good time, you guys think. 10.
Why don't you do a little potty break, get a little freshen up your wine, kind of thing.
Call Eden. Okay, well, no, I'll talk to you about that, because you know who Eden's friends with, right?
We'll talk offline.
Yeah, we'll talk offline.
Call me.
Yeah, there's a whole Eden underbelly, but I know that you already know this. Yeah, so what time? Should I do it for, it's 10:07. Should I do it for 11? Give myself an hour?
Yeah, give everybody take a little break, get a fresh glass of wine. Because it's going to be good, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. You got receipts?
It'll be Eden Underground Lesbian Sex Dungeon good. That's what it'll be.
That good.
That good. No, not that late. I have to get my stuff together. And we kind of do a late night for it's messy. So 11. I'll do it for 11.
I'll be tuning in.
All right.
This was fun.
So we're going live. We're going to be talking about the wig, the hoe, and the Costco girl. And that's going to be the title of that one. So I'll see you guys in 15 minutes.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, John.
Thank
Bye,
you,
everyone.
Monica. I had a blast.
Thank you. I hope you have me back soon.
You're always welcome.
Thank you, John. Love you. Bye,
Love you too.
guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.